Hello, dear friends. History shows that if politicians are allowed to break the law in an emergency, they are likely to create an emergency so they can break the law, says Judy Pinkton. Opinion piece. Matrix demonstrated by a university. Do we live in a virtual world? Enjoy all the gaps in this life. Primitive souls rule the world. They are very underdeveloped, but they have mischief. The Love Party is born in the UK. Let's start. A new law of physics supports the idea that we live in a computer simulation. A physicist at the University of Portsmouth has explored a new law of physics that could support the much debated theory that we are simply characters in an advanced virtual world. The simulated universe hypothesis proposes that what we human beings experience would actually be an artificial reality, very similar to a computer simulation, in which we ourselves are constructs. According to psychology, a construct is a bipolar descriptive category with which each individual organizes data and experiences from his or her world, such as hot and cold, dynamic and static, etc. This theory is popular among several well-known figures, including Michael Talbot, Elon Musk, and many physicists with a branch of science known as information physics, which suggests that physical reality is fundamentally made up of bits of information. The idea that we live in a computer simulation is a hypothesis that has intrigued many people and been popularized by notable figures. Dr. Melvin Popson from the University of Portsmouth has published research suggesting that information has mass and that all elementary particles store information about themselves, similar to the way humans have DNA. In 2022, he discovered a new law of physics that could predict genetic mutations in organisms, including viruses, and help judge their possible consequences. Dr. Bobson's research suggests that the information is the fundamental component of the universe and has physical mass. He even claims that information could be the elusive dark matter that makes up almost a third of the universe, which he calls the mass energy information equivalent principle. This idea is based on the second law of thermodynamics, which generally refers to the increasing entropy or disorder in an isolated system. It is a very old hypothesis to claim that information could be the elusive dark matter that makes up a significant part of the universe. Dark matter is a mysterious substance that does not emit or interact with light, but is detected through its gravitational influence on the galaxy and the universe. This idea of equating dark matter with information is a revolutionary conjecture that, if confirmed, could have significant implications for our understanding of the universe. Personal vision. I have realized that the world is governed by very backward primitive souls, very little evolved, but with a lot of mischief. They have put them there to prick us and test us. But when you look at their faces, you realize that they have no real power, only apparent. They are in power because they know many tricks and because they submit to the powers that be, who never show their faces. But they have no capacity to offend us because I have seen them as small balls of dark flesh without spiritual power. I have seen this in the astral world, and it has been very powerful to discover the truth. The Americas in general are going to be more protected than Spain in the coming storm of war. The Iberian Peninsula has a privileged position on the map, but we are governed by backward souls. This is due to the ignorance of the people who support them. However, Spain has a spiritual protection that will prevail in the end. Enjoy the gaps. Enjoy the gaps, an elderly woman from the nursing home said to Caitlin Johnstone, grabbing her hand. Everyone lets life pass them by, she said. They are always focused on achieving something, achieving their goals and earning people's approval. Then, before you know it, you are sitting in a place like this, wondering where it all went. I'll tell you where it all went. She walked quickly past them as her mind was absorbed in what was next. No, they walked quickly, not she. Past them as their mind was absorbed in what was next. The next event, the next objective, the next achievement. Then it is all over, and all that's left is a handful of memories of those few things they focused on, with all the gaps that went unnoticed and unappreciated. The holes? Caitlin asked. Yes, the gaps, girl. The gaps in between. Between all those moments, they spend their life waiting anxiously. That's where all life is, or almost everything at least. All those moments when you are sitting, walking, working, talking, seeing, listening, feeling, smelling. Everyone lets them pass them by. Why? They focus on other things. They don't like them. They don't enjoy them as they come. It's a lack of respect for life. Disrespectful? She asked. Yes, love. Life goes to all this trouble to present a beautiful moment. The song of a bird, the smell of a coffee, the light coming through the window, and they spit it out. They reject the invitation to savor and enjoy. What's offered to them only to focus on their own thoughts about what they did or didn't do in the past and what they will or won't do in the future. Don't you think that's disrespectful? I'll tell you one thing for free, girl. I've lived more life in the last year here in this nursing house that I did in the previous 83 years because I finally stopped thinking about life and started living it. After I got here, I was sitting here looking at my hands and I thought, is this it? No. And now I really enjoy every moment here. The hustle and bustle in the hallway, the chatter on my roommate's TV, the light through the curtains, the cotton on my skin. I really enjoy every moment here, and I am the happiest I have ever seen. I have never been. I have never been. And with that, they squeezed my hand and told me about my day. I never saw her again. The next time I went back to the nursing home, there was another woman in her bed. I didn't bother to ask where she went. People don't leave that place because they found a work abroad. I expect to feel sad about it, but the sadness never came. All that emerged was a deep gratitude that never went away. Opinions. According to C.G.I.'s Morgan, there's nothing to worry about unless you have skin in the game. Where your heart is, there is your risk and your treasure. Ancient aliens visited Earth many millennia ago and genetically modified primitive hominids, according to former aeronautical engineer Mike Barra. Sierra's opinion. As warriors of light, we have paid the price of experiencing accelerated ascension. We know it can involve immense emotional suffering, isolation, and loneliness. It is understandable that people are reluctant to follow in our footsteps. However, it has still been worth it. According to Babaji, change is occurring through a spiritual awakening of people, which is unique in the contemporary history of this planet, and which has never occurred since the existence of the Earth. Your contribution is to prepare for this awakening, that is, by first healing your personal history so that you can shape the bright future of humankind. Puffner said, "Many of you wish with all your might that it was about to happen, but it cannot and will not happen until the prosperous investments of people and property are made. Everyone is waiting for the result. We are looking forward to the cleanup that will follow soon. Positive results are being produced, and a suitable directive will appear in the not too distant future. You are making waves that are getting results. This will make the game changer a real celebration when it happens." According to Mike Kinsey, the Middle East conflict is getting out of hand. So, after two world wars and many smaller ones, it seems that little has been learned from them, and people have afraid and fed up with the disputes and bitterness. Disputes often over problems that could have easily been resolved friendly long ago. It seems that lessons cannot be learned except the bad ones. The Love Party is born in the UK as a movement of independent candidates that will run in the 2024 general elections. Love is not a soft and fluffy marshmallow. Love is the lioness who defends her cubs. Abundance is the natural order of life, and the aim is to create a society where every human being has the right to prosper. The popular Charter of Inalienable Rights for the 21st century is being formulated, which will be its electoral promise. Globally, there is a growing disconnection from the political process and greater distrust of politicians. Breaking news. The IMF predicts a global debt of 100% of GDP by the end of the decade. Complex times are ahead for the world economy due to the conflict in the Middle East. JP Morgan warns that the most dangerous time in decades has arrived. CEO Jamie Dimon says consumers are depleting their cash reserves and inflation could remain high due to government spending. The IMF raises its growth projection in the Americas for 2023 and 2024. López Obrador rejects the BRICS proposal to seek de-dollarization. Iran supports the idea of creating a single currency for the BRICS. Zimbabwe launched a new gold-backed digital currency to stop re-dollarization. Egypt buys another 300,000 tons of Russian wheat. The last exit left for Cousins is through Egypt, but Cairo refuses to open it. Where is the Arab solidarity? China has purchased 243 tons of gold for 11 consecutive months. China's local gold premium soars to record levels compared to international prices. Some wealthy citizens in China are turning to clandestine money handlers to move cash, Bloomberg reported. China and Saudi Arabia partnered to develop a new artificial intelligence system. Russia and Saudi Arabia increases trade exchange by 20%. QFS artificial intelligence is starting to take over the banking system. It will begin to drive market direction and integration through a series of data that provides a path forward. Computers work with real values. That is why the banks, markets, and payment systems have to work with a decentralized system based on real values, backed by commodity markets. Gold brings strong values to our new digital asset based trading system. Let's hope November rolls into December to create life-changing events in our banking system and our markets. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot, dear friends.